We feel psychological fatigue and depression within the framework of the economy. That is why we have opened the doors of the Sky Butterfly Library of Philosophy and Contemplation here. Before turning the pages of the Library of Contemplation, please put your smartphone down for a moment. Then, settle down comfortably, close your eyes, and take just 3 deep breaths. Now, I will guide you through a very short meditation journey that takes about 3 to 5 minutes. You do not need to look at anything else. I would simply like you to close your eyes and listen to my voice. Please use this precious time solely to look into your own heart. Sky Butterfly Library, turning the 3rd page of contemplation. Title: Mind Control 2. The door to Utopia opens from positivity. Modern society constantly whispers to us that we must acquire more to be happy. As a result, people become obsessed with fulfilling their own self-interests. The false economic logic that as long as I succeed, it is enough, even if it means trampling on others, has eroded our inner conscience. However, we already know that the gain obtained in that way brings not true happiness, but merely a pleasure in the name of a very brief sense of accomplishment. When that momentary pleasure vanishes, emptiness and anxiety return. In this way, we are falling into a tragic abyss where we become slaves to material things and regard even our own lives lightly. Now is the time to break free from the shackles of misguided materialism. If you consider the misfortune you will face at the threshold of death after abandoning your conscience to satisfy your greed, we must change the direction of our lives right now. The key to our salvation here is the philosophy of positivity. Positivity is not merely an attitude of viewing circumstances favorably. It is the key that opens the door to a powerful psychological utopia, establishing an unwavering center even amidst poverty and preventing material scarcity from leading to spiritual poverty. The basis for our mind's ability to create miracles lies in the brain. If we liken the brain to a computer's CPU and the mind to memory, the outcome of our lives changes completely depending on the thoughts we input into the CPU. People often think that the heart feels emotions and performs miracles, but the heart is merely the organ that receives signals from the brain and responds the fastest. The change in heart rate with breathing is a physical response proportional to the amount of brain activity. In other words, all instructions and control originate in the brain. If we realize this scientific fact, we finally gain the power to control our own lives. The experiment is simple. If you constantly tell yourself every day that you have a headache or that you have a terminal illness, at some point your brain will comply with those instructions and make your body sick. The same goes for luck. When you often think, "I have no luck," you won't even notice when luck comes your way. What a miserable life that is. In this way, our unhappiness comes from consistently stimulating negativity. It is created by the accumulation of questions such as, "Why am I the only one who is unhappy?" Depression is also a negative outcome produced by the brain due to the installation of wrong ideas. Conversely, if we think about it, we can create miracles using the same method. Every morning, inject into your brain the words, "I am happy" and "I am good at everything." When you inject this consistently for a long time, your brain will eventually respond. Then, at some point, you will feel good even without a special reason. Work will also go well, depending on your confidence. In this way, you plant intentional seeds of positivity and begin mind control. You must do this consistently over a long period of time for the effects to appear. You must stand in front of the bathroom mirror morning and evening and consistently practice positive self-hypnosis. Then, at some point, your brain will start to respond. Thus, the hell and heaven of the present lie in the mind control you create yourself. Are you aware that most of the mind control you create unconsciously is more negative than positive? Whether negative or positive, it is formed from one's old habits. If you frequently think negatively, it becomes ingrained in you, and you end up thinking negatively all the time. However, when you make an effort to change it morning and evening, even intentionally, you will eliminate negativity and change for the better. As you can see, mind control is not anything extraordinary. It is possible through consistent, repetitive learning morning and evening. You can simply view it as a form of self-hypnosis. As such, it is effective to speak positive words out loud rather than just thinking about them. Our brain is like a computer that constantly processes information. At this very moment, release all the negative information stored in your warehouse and fill it with noble thoughts of positivity. The moment you recognize that the brain is the master of the mind and take the key to mind control yourself, a very small miracle begins. What idea will you input into your brain today? That choice will become the landscape of the tomorrow you will live in. Do not forget that you are the master of the greatest command center, already ready to create miracles. It means that your life exists because you are the master and that your conscience is a temple holier than any religion. I hope peace dwells wherever your thoughts reach.